So what do you expect me to say?
Let's get him!
Hey there, what's up internet? My name is BlackLightAttack and welcome to my very first competitive style Pokemon battle video. Today I'm playing some NU tier. This is actually my very first Wi-Fi battle. I've played a little bit on Pokemon Online, but this is my first actual Wi-Fi battle, and it's against a guy named Zell from the Smogon forums. He does actually have a bit longer of a name, but I'm not going to reveal his full name in case he doesn't want his name revealed. He unfortunately left at the end of this battle before I could ask him if it was cool that I posted. But anyway, looking at the team setups here, I really have two options as a lead in this team. Actually, really anything can serve as a lead in this metagame, but I have one dedicated lead, which is Raichu, and then a secondary lead in Gigalith. And looking at his team setup, I'm expecting him to go with Butterfree as his lead and try to set up probably a substitute Quiver Dance Baton Pass kind of deal, sort of like a poor man's or special offensive and defensive Ninjask, basically. And that's exactly what Gigalith is here to counter, so I'm going to bring him out first. And as it turns out, I'm right. He does lead off with his Butterfree, and I'm really hoping that I can just basically blast through any substitutes with the Rock Blast and one-hit KO this thing before it can set up any Quiver Dances. Unfortunately, he doesn't do that. He goes for the Sleep Powder and it does land, so I'm basically sitting here with this thing asleep and Butterfree free to set up, which is always annoying. But now here's my first mistake of the game. Right off the bat, I go into my Raichu thinking that he could possibly outspeed this thing after a Quiver Dance, because he does have full speed investment. Of course, Butterfree does too, and with the Quiver Dance does manage to actually outspeed, because he doesn't actually have that much of a speed lead on Butterfree to allow him to outspeed after a Quiver Dance, and he does one-hit KO right off with the Bug Buzz, so that's quite unfortunate. I really like that Raichu build, and I'm hoping to get a good game with him sometime soon, but I'm hoping to encore him into the Quiver Dance so that I can destroy him with something while he tries to set up. But I'm going to go right into my Mantine here. He's going to go for another Quiver Dance. Mantine is my special wall, and I fire off an Ice Beam, not expecting him to go for another Quiver Dance. I expect him to try to hit me, and it does a lot of damage even after two Quiver Dances. But he goes for a Bug Buzz, and I know I'm going to be able to live this, because not only do I resist, but Mantine is also just a beast of a special wall. And luckily I do carry the Mirror Coat, so I know I'm going to live. Now, I'm really glad I decided on Mirror Coat over Haze for this guy. I suppose Haze could have eliminated his Quiver Dance too, but that eliminated his Quiver Dance and him in one fell swoop, so I'm not complaining too much. And he's still got quite a bit of health left to spare. Now Cradily comes out, and I'm expecting this thing to start cursing up, because obviously my Irwinator can't really do too much to him. And I'm not really expecting any rock attacks or anything like that, and I do take neutral damage from the really weak grass attacks that this thing will probably be carrying. But I decided to just go for the Confuse Ray so that I can hopefully stall him out of cursing up too much, and basically setting up so that I can go into something to either scare him out or hit him really hard. Turns out he's not going for Curse, he's just going for a Stealth Rock, and I send in my Scarfed Emboar to try to hit this thing with a superpower that's going to be super effective, not wanting to over-predict too much, but he does predict the superpower and go into Yamask, who's going to completely wall this. Now that I'm locked into superpower, I have no choice but to switch out, not really knowing what Yamask can do, to be completely honest with you. So I go into my Superior and think, well, this thing is probably an Eviolite wall, and he's probably going to try to stall me out, so I might as well try to set up in his face. Turns out that's not what he's doing at all. He goes for the Nightshade, and I figure I'm going to outspeed this thing. I might as well set up a coil and see how much damage I can do to this thing. I don't expect him, however, to go for 3 Nightshades in a row, which is going to kill me. I expect him to try to pull off something sneaky, maybe Toxic Me or something, but he just keeps going for the Nightshade. I decide to Leaf Blade, because at this point I believe I'm within Overgrow status. So that's going to be a coiled Overgrow Leaf Blade. It doesn't kill him because of the Eviolite, and he does finish me off. So you know, I figure, okay, he's pretty low. Chances are he's gonna try to keep Nightshading me down. So I'm gonna go into Rocksteady, my Gigalith, who's got plenty of HP. Turns out he carries the rest, so Superior died for absolutely nothing, and my poor little Gigalith is still sitting here asleep on the job, and I'm praying he's gonna wake up, and hopefully I can just get some damage on him, see how much I can do to this Yamask with another Rock Blast. Now this is a especially defensive Gigalith, but he does do a lot of damage. I get really lucky here. He expects me to go for the Stealth Rock, which I was considering, but I still keep going for the Rock Blast, and he switches into Magmortar, anticipating the Stone Edge. It only takes 3 to kill him, even though I have no attack investment whatsoever. This is a purely defensive Gigalith, and his Magmortar, which is a major threat to this team, goes down in 3 hits. The only way that wouldn't have KO'd is if it only hit 2. So out comes his Chinchino. I'm expecting either a Wake Up Slap or a Bullet Seed. I stay in because Gigalith is a beast and can probably take it pretty well, and just to be safe I go for the Earthquake, thinking that it was the better option over Rock Blast just because it's more reliable. It's gonna be 100 base power anyway, but I think if I had gotten 3 or more hits with Rock Blast it would have done more damage. It doesn't do nearly enough to Chinchino. I could trade and just kill it on this turn, but I don't want my Gigalith getting that low, so I decide to switch into my Drifblim. Now this Drifblim has a pretty interesting setup. I don't like to go with cookie cutter builds that I find on Smogon, but I saw this build and I decided I just had to try it out. This is straight lift from because it's really interesting. I'm going to go for a Calm Mind on the switch because I'm pretty sure his Chinchino's either scarfed or banded, probably banded, and he's now locked into Wake Up Slap, which Drifblim is immune to. So I'm just going to set up a Calm Mind, 2 Calm Minds actually, in this Cradley's face, and he's going to go for a Toxic, thinking that I guess that I'm a especially defensive build or something, but I go for a +2 Shadow Ball, which does about half to this guy. Not really the best, but it does get the special defense drop, which means that I could 1-hit KO, or 2-hit KO him now. Even after Leftover's recovery. He goes for the Ancient Power, which does just about nothing. I'm surprised this thing even carries a Rock Attack, but after 2 Calm Minds it's going to do just about nothing. And right here I decide it's now or never, and I decide to activate this thing's sweeping abilities and go for the rest. Now this thing has the ability Unburden, which means its speed is doubled when it uses its item, so I go for the rest, fully recover, get rid of the Toxic, and eat my Chesto Berry, which doubles my speed, and now I'm sitting at double the speed, basically +2 speed, +2 special defense, and +2 special attack. I'm going to be able to now outspeed this Chinchino and KO it fairly easily. And right at this point, I guess he realizes this Kriggly is going to die without really being able to do too much else to it. And other than that, he doesn't have anything. Lapras is going to get 1-hit KO'd, and Yamask is going to get 1-hit KO'd by Thunderbolt and Shadow Ball respectively. So he decides to run Forfeit. Kind of disappointed he didn't stick around, but I guess it could have been worse. It was a pretty good game for my first game. So yeah, I hope to do some more work with this Drifblim sometime in the future. And I definitely will be posting more of these, probably on both my main channel and TGN. So leave me a like if you guys liked it. It is a new series, so let me know what you think about it. And I will catch you guys later. Take it easy.